Welcome back. Just some more people watching happening.
Yeah.
And some exploration and discussion of some past characters that have walked by. Oh, hello. We have random people
waving.
saying hello.
It's crazy to me the amount of people who have umbrellas up and the amount of people who are in shorts at the same time. I don't know what the hell is actually going on outside.
So here's my analysis.
Half of the people are crazy.
People in the shorts are tourists. They're like, I came from Nebraska, and it's
is that
I'm
your
going
Nebraska?
To La La Land. Look, so we're gonna say that they were from Georgia or North Carolina, and then they relocated to Nebraska, and now they're on vacation in
all right,
Hollywood.
Fair enough. Fair
and
enough.
They're wearing
that's
them
a hard.
shorts.
That's a hard move.
It's a hard move.
From Atlanta to Lincoln's a hard move.
It's a hard move, but they're enjoying the warmer weather, so they got to bust out their Tommy
I guess
Bahamas.
technically this is still warm for most of the country, so I'll give
for
them
sure.
that. I'll give them that.
I mean, I grew up in Western Maryland. It was snow, ice, sleet, the whole 9 yards. It's probably hasn't been that cold over there lately, though. I want to say maybe 40 something.
Yeah, I spent my time back east, but I grew up here, so this is.
So you're used to
I'm
this.
used to it. Yeah.
But so that's why the rain is a little freaky for you. You're like,
I grew up on the bus though, so I've been wet before. You know what I mean? I'm not scared of the rain. I'm not afraid to drive in it. I'm not afraid to be out in it. If I have somewhere to be, we're getting there. That's how I feel. Yeah.
Right. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. People drive so slowly though in the rain out here. I'm like, make it stop. So we're gonna talk about my marketing strategy just a little bit, and I think I might have touched on this before in past conversations with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I use instead of talking about brand and saying brand, because I feel like brand kind of different labels and boxes. I feel like brand has those associations, and it also has very commercial associations. And just we are not boxes, we are not commercial brands, especially if we're promoting ourselves.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So that's why I like to look at things from a narrative identity perspective, and thinking about brand in the frame of identity.
Yeah.
So even if you have a company or an organization, so we would be looking at the organizational identity, but from the frame of story. So looking at it from the background of where point A to point Z. Where did the company start?
Yeah.
Why did it start?
Yeah.
Who is it trying to appeal to from that standpoint? We have some major friends out there. They're nodding. Wow. This is quite a day. But yeah, I mean, obviously if you're promoting yourself, you are your own business. It's extra important to look at it from this space because it allows you to be extra authentic.
Sure.
So when I sit down with people and I do an initial consult, I ask them to come up with 3 different 5-word stories.
Okay.
The first being your what story. So in 5 words, what would you say your identity is? They don't have to be it doesn't have to form a coherent sentence. Right.
Token, definitely. I would say smart. I would say
Scientologist.
Nice but mean, I think, is probably the other ones I would use.
So bipolar.
Well, because it's so funny. People
dynamic.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like the things I say are harsher than sometimes people hear them, or let me say it a different way. I have an ability to say really mean things to people and have them still like me.
So tactful.
I'm a really likable person in spite of myself.
Right.
And
sometimes
yet,
I feel the same way.
Right. I'm not actually nice to people. And I'm very opinionated, and I'm pretty matter of fact. And if I think you're wrong, I'll 100% let you know. But I'm likable, so I accept
so charismatic.
It. Yeah, charismatic. Yeah, totally.
But direct.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I agree with this encapsulation of words. I approve. So then I like to move into the why story, the 5 words of why you're doing what you're doing.
I would say purpose has to be one of those words, because I feel like I have something really to contribute to the world.
Totally.
I would say, what's the ego? I feel like I'm funnier than most people. I feel like I have a chance to leave a mark on history if I can just get my shit together. I think that I have a really important voice. So it's about voice, it's about purpose, it's about ego, it's about legacy, it's about sort of proving that someone like me can do whatever he wants.
Right. I love it. Very good why. Have you ever watched Simon Sinek's story of, it's a TED Talk. He gave a TED Talk on finding your why.
Yeah.
It's really powerful. I think that you might like
I'll definitely check it out.
Check it out.
Yeah.
And so then the last one is the 5-word who. If you were to describe the people that you want to impact or affect in some manner, what is their story, if you could say? Because it's good to be aware of, even though it's like obviously you want to target as many people as possible, if you at least have in your mind like a general idea of who these people are, it really helps in your marketing objectives.
So there's definitely a real big segment of millennials. I used to work in a high school. I was a guidance counselor for a long time, so that kind of 16 to 30-ish.
Wait, the millennials, the 16-year-olds aren't millennials though, aren't they? Like Z, like Gen Z or something?
we're so people 18? Yeah,
they have
1982 to 2000. So so the youngest millennials are 16, 17. They're graduating from high school.
Really? They're still
now.
on our group.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like the millennials were like stretched on? Like,
but it's definitely that sort of that young consumer age, the ones who are going to binge on Netflix, who are going to watch, Comedy Central, whatever, and their parents.
And they're on their smartphones.
They're on their phones,
the time.
right? It's college age kids. It's recent graduates. I think a large part of my audience is obviously sort of left of center.
Yeah.
Although I do want to make inroads into other communities, but that's my bread and butter, certainly.
Awesome. So if you could give us one story though to like one single person, because I really like that. It was really encompassing, but sometimes I like to take it a step further.
Yeah.
Like especially because of your background in education. Like if you were to think about say one 18-year-old kid, what is his story and why do you think that he needs to hear you?
He or she needs to hear me because he or she has been sort of told that they have to be a certain kind of way, that there's a certain path, and that you have to do X, Y, Z to get anywhere, and that's not actually true.
Right.
You have to tap into whatever it is about yourself that you're most passionate. Yeah. And you have to be willing to work like a dog to make that happen.
I know that's 100,000% true.
It's so hard.
You have to work
the more famous people I talk to, the more I'm impressed with their hustle, not at all with their talent.
Right.
And so my message is that you don't have to be the most talented person. You have to be good enough.
Right.
And you'll be good enough at whatever you love to do.
But you have to have persistence.
You have to be more persistent than the people around you.
Yeah.
And so that's who my message is for. It's for the people who are creative, who want to sing, want to invent, whatever it is.
Innovators, young innovators.
Yeah, young innovators to just continue to be active, to be
and
comfortable
to disrupt.
failing. Yeah, fail at something, but be active and use whatever you're passionate about to make a statement.
Totally.
To have a voice.
I love it.
Yeah.
And more of us need to be comfortable with understanding that failures are not the end-all be-all. They can be molded and reshaped into new opportunities.
Failure is the most important thing in the world. Being comfortable failing, right? This happens in comedy. You have to bomb. And until you're okay with the fact that I might tell a joke that won't work, you'll never tell a joke that's risky.
And without failure, you can't have growth. You cannot.
Right. And sometimes it's as simple as, I failed this time, but it's really because I chose the wrong word. It's not the premise.
Totally.
But now I know how to fix this. So failure builds tough skin. It allows you to know what you don't need to try again.
So keep going,
yeah,
people.
You have
keep
to
on the grind. Don't give up, and know that you are more than the boxes that society tries to put you in.
The people who push through are the people who succeed. It's not the most talented. It's not the most connected, even necessarily. It's the people
those who are persistent.
Put it all together. Yeah.
Put it all together. So
Yeah.
put it all together, y'all. And you have a
Just do
wonderful
that.
Tuesday. Thank you so much, Julian,
Thank
for
you
your
for having
time.
me. 100%.
I can't wait to come on your show
Absolutely.
next, and we'll have to continue this conversation.
Let's do it.
All right.